you plan on doing a limitation on ammo and ARs, which require them to use tracers, or is this someone taking it out of proportion? Oh yeah, some tried to clip farm me and use my name in a YouTube video saying I'm gonna ruin W.C.S. or something. But yeah, we're gonna force tracers on every magazine in the game besides bolt rifles, but it's gonna be 1 in every 5 rounds. It'll be green tracers for all Russian magazines and red tracers for all NATO magazines. The main reason for that are 2 things. 1, it'll look really sick. It'll make all firefights look really epic and cinematic. 2nd, it's also going to help with PID and identifying where people are, because like obviously, like, you know, you get a lot of rats in this game. You get people who are just straight bush Wookiees who literally sit in a bush all day and shit, and it's just going to increase the skill gap for those kinds of ratty players. But it's also going to nerf them a little bit because you can't just mag dump anymore. And like I said, I think we're going to make it to where bolt rifles, bolt action rifles will have AP rounds. They'll still have M61 and stuff like that without tracers at all. So that way, like, you can still be that kind of sneaky character, but you're going to have to stick to using a sniper rifle. Every single magazine will be 5+1 tracer, and you won't have any other options. Well, they still have different physical magazines? Yeah, you'll still have, like, all the cosmetic mags. Yeah. I know, dude, it's just in my DNA. I can't stop ruining and killing games. It's just so, I get off by it. W.C.S. is not a milsim. It's supposed to be an accessible, like, tactical shooter experience. It's not a hardcore milsim with, like, tons of freedom. Like, we want to have a lot of freedom, but, like, we draw, like, more inspiration from, like, Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 than we do anything else. One thing I like about WCS is there's too many milsim cucks who get their panties in a bunch when people just want to have fun. Yeah, like I said, WCS was always supposed to be, like, Battlefield 3 or 4 meets, like, a tactical shooter. Like, Battlefield 3 and 4, but, like, more immersive, more realistic, not as arcadey, right? Trying to, like, just go more towards the realism, but not too much. Half the fun of these streams is all the game theory. We do like talking game theory a lot. I mean, I am starting to actually work as a game designer for games now, so, you know, it's a big passion of mine, so I love talking about game theory in general. It's fun. What do you think about Marathon filling a hole in extraction shooters? I don't think it's filling any hole. I think Marathon and these other extraction games are all missing their mark because inherently the audience for extraction shooters is a hardcore player base that wants a challenging game with very layered features, mechanics, and things that aren't explained to them. That's literally the audience. And what they're trying to do is make an accessible, more mainstream extraction shooter. But I think that's stupid because, like, that's not the audience for extraction games at all. You know, technically battle royales and stuff are kind of like an extraction game. They follow like a similar theory, but it's a totally different gameplay loop. There's not meta progression there. And meta progression basically meaning there are things that you can do from your round-to-round basis that will attribute to a permanent and or long-term progression outside of that individual match. For example, like player levels, skills, having a stash, money, bank, whatever. And so I don't think Marathon's going to do well, man. I agree. Cycle Frontier was the only type of game that evolved the extraction genre. I just think if the Cycle had the same exact gameplay loop in fundamentals, so like hub area, social hub area, and then you deployed to your matches, but make it like gritty milsim tactical shooter game, dude, it'd be fucking great. It'd be super sick. I guarantee you it'd hit well because the whole persistent nature of how the matches work, basically how that worked in general, I think is incredibly well designed. But unfortunately, it got ruined by free-to-play and cheaters, sadly. But I don't think Marathon's filling a gap in anything. They're just trying to make a game based off trends. They've been working on that game for 6 years, man. 6 years. They would have released it a long time ago if the people who play tested it said it was good. I like the art style, though. And also, guys, don't get it twisted. I don't want Marathon to fail as a game. I'm a gamer, dude. I want more fun games to play. I like the extraction genre because it's inherently hardcore. But when you're missing that understanding that the extraction shooter genre entirely was built off of an incredibly difficult and hardcore game with a lot of layers, that inherently is not accessible. So trying to reinvent that and make it more accessible is only going to diminish the product because you're missing the target audience. You're trying to build the game for an audience that doesn't want those things. You're trying to generalize it. But again, I don't want the game to fail. I hope it's fun. I hope people like it. I hope people get into it and people, you know, have fun playing the game. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think that's what a lot of people kind of fail to understand about a lot of these big studios now. It's like the people that made your favorite games, like DICE and EA publishing all these great games and blah, blah, blah. Even Bethesda, man, those ain't the guys that worked on Morrowind and Oblivion probably do not work at Bethesda anymore. And it sucks because like that's like where we as consumers kind of put our minds. We're like, oh, but it's like they made these great games that we love. It's like, technically, yes, they did, but it's not the same people anymore. When you make a game that's just inherently very safe, you know what I mean? You're not taking enough risks to actually start a new trend and create a new audience that's actually going to resonate with your game. That's just me, though, man. That's just me. I have very biased takes on this kind of stuff, and I want you guys to know that. Like, I am being biased here because of my perspective. But that's it. Want to know why Reforge is fun? Want to know why this game is successful, in my opinion? Is because it's inherently casual. You might be like, well, but clean. It's like super hardcore. It has like armor hitboxes and like very realistic TTK and like realistic weapon sounds. All this. Like, yeah, it does. But inherently, this game is not competitive. Does it matter if you win a match? No. Does it matter how many kills you get in a round? No. All that matters is how much fun you had. You're literally playing it for these moment-to-moment interactions and skirmishes, and those like moments where like, you know, you have players that are all on VoIP, they're all communicating. It's not about being the best player. It's not about the stats. That's the kind of shit that ruined EFT, in my opinion. Making the game more of a farming simulator, making it into more of a competitive game, making it more about PMC kills, your KD, your survival rate, how much money you have, whether or not you got Kappa, whether or not you're prestiging or not. All of those things ruined the experience for me. And I think diminished what made the game actually fun, which was that really high octane, high heart rate, immersive action that you could get into. And it wasn't about being the best. It wasn't about that. Not to say that the game can't be competitive, because it's like a competition for survival. But it's when you make it incredibly competitive, where it's like, I need to be the best, and I need to have the highest stats and the most money and all this like that kind of shit just diminishes the experience entirely, and inherently makes it less casual, because you're trying to make it like this high skill ceiling like type ranked game, but it's not supposed to be. And I'm basically saying the reason why Reforger, I think, is doing so well and is a very accessible game for kind of how hardcore it inherently is because none of it matters. It's just about having fun. It's literally just about having fun. It's about just going in and looking for the dopamine and having the fun fights, having the epic moments. Like, this is one of the very few games where it's like, it's fun to lose sometimes. Like, you're in a helicopter, you know, joking around with your buddies and shit, and you get shot down, and you all respawn at main base, and you're like, God damn it, that was really funny though. All right, let's go again, guys. And like, that's awesome. That's an incredibly amazing atmosphere to have for a game. Is because it's inherently casual because of that. It's not taking itself super serious, but at the same time, it's an incredibly serious, like, immersive game. It's just all about having it's all about just having good fun, getting your heart rate up, and maybe having some laughs as well along the way. Like, that's what it should be about. That's what most games should be about. When you try and turn these games into an esport, you try and turn it into inherently a competition about who is better at things. That type of shit makes the game less casual. Another really great example of this is BattleBit Remastered, okay? BattleBit Remastered, super casual game. Looks like fucking Roblox, right? And when it released, everybody got into it because it gave that really fun nostalgia of like Battlefield with the destruction and the classes, and like the really fun, like big epic gunfights and stuff like that. But want to know what killed that fucking game? Is its inherently competitive nature. It tried to be a highly competitive game for no fucking reason, because you had like wiggle spam, you had air strafing, you had all like terrible fucking class balance where everybody just fucking played medic or engineer. Because of that, you had a game that was supposed to be casual overtaken by super sweaty players who abuse like these underbaked mechanics that I knew were fucking bad. And I told the devs when I worked for them, because if you guys don't know, I worked for BattleBit. I did all of their marketing on launch. I was like their marketing strategist, basically. I told them, I'm like, hey, this air strafing is going to be toxic. Hey, this wiggle spam is going to be toxic. Hey, medic is OP. Oh my God, C4 being able to blow everything up is incredibly overpowered. It makes vehicles worthless. No, they're like, yeah, we kind of know, but we can't change it because our community would be mad. And I was just like, man, like, I told them, like, this stuff's going to hurt the game in the long run. It's not going to be good. And look what happened. It fucking hurt the game in the long run because it wasn't good. And it made a game that was supposed to be inherently casual way too competitive and way too sweaty, where you have guys who are just coming in, they're getting off work, they just want to play some BattleBit and like joke around with their boys, and then they see guys like wiggle spamming with an SMG playing medic and like jumping in the air, turning into a trash bag in the wind, floating around, and he misses every shot, and then that guy turns and kills him and he dies. He's like, fuck this, I don't want to play this anymore. Again, when you're trying to make a game accessible, like, it can still be hardcore, it can still be challenging and technical, but it's all about like how you design it, how you integrate those features, and what makes it like interesting in the first place. And also BattleBit, yeah, hasn't had an update in over like 13 months, which sucks because I like that game. It's fun. I would like to play it, but it's like they haven't updated it in a very long time. They have like a lot of really big changes. I know they're going to come out with like their 2.0 update. Like they're going to re-release it basically. I just don't know when that's going to be. Anyway, well, on that wrap.